Okay, perfect. So, what are we gonna do? Do you have any special things you wanna do? I have made a video about your
The skill
um,
cap video,
skill gap
right?
video, exactly, yeah. Um,
Mm,
where I
okay.
think you were a bit unprepared, and I don't think that is the way to attack another, I don't know, form of coaching. And I think you should like go more in depth if you want to attack another form of coaching.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So your claim would be that I should take a different approach when I'm trying to attack a certain form of coaching.
Definitely.
Right. But what I'm saying is what they said wasn't necessarily coaching, it was misleading.
Yes, I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the problem is with what you've said in the video as well. There are also some mistakes in how you
Mm-hmm.
basically mislead the viewers to get like that you say that they are getting misled by skill cap. And one of the main points of me or in the video, um, like you said that I mean we can right now go into the video into a watch
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
together. That
Yeah.
is I think very helpful.
Sure.
I will send you a watch together link actually.
Yeah, yeah, please. Perfect.
I'll just go into your video because mine is pretty long, and then I can
Yeah, sure,
just.
sure, sure.
Uh,
Unsere
oh,
Welt
okay.
erneut.
You can just give me your thoughts on like the you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I will give
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I will give you them instantly. So the first point that you were trying to make is that um, Ezreal and Senna are getting prio into Kai'Sa Thresh by the nature of the matchup, even though that Kai'Sa Thresh get the first hit onto the wave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this is necessarily correct.
I don't,
Why?
I don't remember.
Mhm.
Can I see the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will
video?
give you.
Because I don't remember. Yeah,
Give
yeah,
me a
yeah.
second.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you. Yeah.
No worries. I will give you the video first. Wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
How's your video called? Do you remember?
I made like 3 skill cap videos. Hold on, let me try to find it. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah. No worries.
Which one was it?
It
I
was
think
the
it was
first one, in
the
fact. It
first
was
one,
the
right?
first one.
Yeah.
I think the second and the third one are much better, by the way. But I think the first one is very misguiding by your side, to be honest.
Right. This one right here. Why skill
Give
caps
me a
is
second.
bad. 3.9.
Oh. Which one are you showing? Wait.
Oh, let me
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah.
here.
Exactly this one.
Yeah, I think
Exactly
that
this
one's
one.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can
okay.
see it.
So, okay, perfect. I can just link it to you. I think.
Yes, and then I can
Yeah.
link you the
Yeah.
watch together, and then
Yeah. Perfect.
yeah.
So, what team did you? So, where have you coached? If you don't mind me asking, because someone just introduced me to you recently.
Okay, so I'm
Um.
coaching
Yeah.
in Unique. It is the like first place org in Telia,
Mhm.
Sweden. So the first, like the best Swedish team basically at the moment.
That's pretty
Um,
cool.
and we are playing Telia Masters in 3 weeks,
Oh wow.
which makes us maybe promote to NLC, and that is like the league below LEC.
Wow. That's. I hope you guys do well, man. Good luck with that. That sounds
Yeah,
insane.
thanks. I mean,
Nice.
it's
Nice.
we are gonna play it at the Red Bull facilities in Stockholm, and I'm gonna drive there, which is gonna take a while, but
Yeah.
it's worth
Definitely.
it,
That's
100%. I think
awesome.
it's very
It's
nice.
absolutely insane. All
Yeah.
right.
So,
Yeah.
I'm instantly gonna skip a little bit. Give me a second.
Sure.
Why they are really, really bad and keep my
Sure. Where I can
So
go.
I also think the wording is very very harsh. I think the to say that they are very very bad for starting players. I don't think. Um, I mean, I do agree that they are bad, but they are
Yeah.
not very bad for players like at bronze to gold. Like they can learn some fundamentals. Definitely, they won't learn why the fundamentals are the fundamentals, but they will learn what they should do, just not the reasoning behind it, and they will not be able to replicate stuff all the way through the game just because they don't
Right.
understand the game itself. If that makes sense.
So the way I usually like to say this is so there's 2 types of players that I've run into, right?
Hmm.
There's the type of player that would they would start off like they would be like gold and silver for years on end. And then there would be players who would just get into the game and then they would immediately jump from like, unranked or whatever they were in the beginning to like diamond or like diamond one or something. One thing that I've noticed the differences is that the players from an early stage of when they were introduced to the game were given the right thought processes and the right concepts. And because Skillcapped is obviously a very popular website, it's being broadcasted to many different types of new players, and a lot of new players are very attracted to this idea. The problem that I have with Skillcapped is that they're essentially giving them the wrong thought processes, and that's why I would state the video was very, very, very bad.
Actually, this is a very interesting way of thinking because I never started with like the first step, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
For me, it was always okay. So where I'm coming from is I started the game in season 3, right?
yeah,
And I was like I never really digged into the game. I was super bad, okay,
mm-hmm.
and like the first season I played, I was stuck in bronze 5, okay, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I mean I was like 13 years old or something, right, or like 12
yeah.
years old or something,
The good
and
days.
yes, the good old days, right?
The good old days. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was a Rek'Sai top main back in the day. I
actually,
was I was the bronze 3 enthusiast.
actually, that was so funny back then, right? But like in season 5, I got like I, I s- I saw my way of improving more step by step. Um then like I got over 2 seasons, I got to diamond 1, right?
Right, right.
But still, I saw my way of improving very very slow.
Mm-hmm.
So I never thought about the way that you approach or that you approach the video in the first place. You know what I mean? Because
So
for
yeah, yeah,
me, every step that I coach a player is also always very slow and very step by step because I'm very oriented on long term improvement.
right,
Does this
right.
make sense for you
That's
so
that's
far?
interesting. That's it. Yeah, I get that. That's really
Hmm.
interesting, and I think that's a really really good way to approach it. Right. Obviously, it's a very like progressive way. Um, I guess this really contrasts with with you and I, where because it's like for me, it's like I believe that there's only one way to play League of Legends.
Hmm.
Right. I believe that there is only one way to truly play League of Legends, and then when discussing the game at the highest level, there are no contradictions. There may be a few, but even then, those can be kind of like dismantled eventually.
But I
And
agree with
so,
this as well,
yeah, yeah,
actually. But the way I see it is to get long-term improvement in is like for me League of Legends works in a way that it goes by an IPIA principle. I call it IPIA because it's basically you gather information first, like information
hmm
gathering process,
hmm
then
hmm
you start planning, then you will have another information gathering process, and then you will adapt your decision.
Jeez, I mean that's a lot more like that's definitely a lot more like put together than my methods. Like you see, like I don't know, a lot of people see my content. I'm just like either do it or you're bad. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't do that stuff with people.
Yes, exactly. Like I start by the roots basically,
Yeah, yeah,
and then I try to tell them, okay, so how my coaching is also based, and like
yeah.
everyone that goes to my coaching also knows that if I start working with a player and if I try to give him a concept how to
Right,
improve
right.
improve in their solo queue as well, I'm telling them, okay, you need to follow certain steps, and I'm giving them 6 sentences basically. Um,
hmm
that are scientifically proven very well accessible by the brain.
hmm
Um, and I always start those sentences by telling them while, why, or like while, before, after XYZ happens, you answer
Uh-huh.
with ABC, if that makes sense. Um,
So it seems like there's a very like procedure. Like there seems to be a very set procedure of how you do things.
yes, because I
I
think
see.
no. Wait, I gotta specify this. There
hmm
is an XYZ and a following ABC for everything that you see in the game. If you see 4 minions in the lane coming in, like that's probably the easiest way to express it. You can say, or you have the guideline. Okay, I can actually make a freeze here, right?
hmm
For example, in bot lane or in top lane, depending on the wave state, etc. Right? But that is overall the most basic thing that I can say here, right? So that everybody
hmm
also understands. And this way, I'm trying to approach every single second of the game, because I think if you think about the matchup in the start of the game, you can understand if somebody stands in a certain specific way in the lane, you can actually punish him, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And if somebody does that, for example, if a hook champion uses his hook in lane, you can basically zone them out of minions or something like that, right?
No, they're on cooldown. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So what you also teach, that's also what you teach actually, but you are more teaching this like unconsciously, and I'm
Hmm.
trying to make it conscious. You know what I mean?
I think that makes sense, and I think I know why I do that as well. So a little bit about my history, right?
Hmm.
So I've been playing soccer, football, my
Hmm.
entire life. I mean, you're German, you should say football, I assume, right?
Yes.
You don't say soccer. It's a sin out here, you know.
Yeah.
So I've been playing football my entire life. I've played at the high school level. I played a little bit in college. I played at the semi-professional level. Now, anytime I've played football, it was never like my coaches were never like, okay, this is how you kick a ball. You know, you accelerate your foot here, you plant your other foot
Hmm.
here. You know, you're done. All these steps never really mattered. They were never talked about for me.
Yes, but that it
For
was
me, my
basically if you
yeah,
want to pass a ball, then you have to kick
yeah,
it.
yeah. For me, the coach was like, pass the ball or you're subbed out. It's like,
Yes.
So taking that like coaching and then kind of just like growing up with that over the years, I realized that okay, well now I'm like okay, now I'm coaching the same way as like how my coaches would coach me
Hmm.
back when I was playing like football competitively, right? So it's like it's pretty crazy. So I mean that might probably be like the basis of like where a lot of people may also come to my sessions or my some they might watch my coaching and they're gonna be like, oh, this guy's very demeaning. This guy's very like angry or this guy's very like you know
Yes.
like name one football coach who's smiling on the field.
Well, I actually like I was playing tennis. I'm also coming from professional sports,
Right.
and
That's
I
awesome.
was
Yeah.
yeah I was also like dancing professionally.
Oh, that's
Um,
amazing. Okay.
so those two things I was doing, and I by the way I think like this is completely out of the point, but I think if you were not actually competitive in anything, you can't be a good coach in my opinion. But I'm coming to this
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
later.
Maybe. Right.
Um, so, and my tennis coach, he actually died, and I
Oh, I'm
really
so
admire
sorry.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he actually was the one who was always smiling, and he was no matter what, he always said, okay, um, if you were if you're accepting your performance and if you think it was fine how you performed in the end, then it was also a
Right.
victory for you, even if you lost, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
was very good. Like he coached basically everyone that was winning in entire Germany. Like the smaller contests, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of
Right. Right.
kids,
Right.
etc. Of
Yeah.
and yeah, he was a very talented coach in my opinion, and I'm trying to more or less take this experience also in my
Uh-huh.
experience in coaching. And what he basically always said is the most important part in every sports and in everything you do is that you have that you have a rhythm
Have rhythm.
in what
Okay.
you do. And if you don't have like rhythm in Germany doesn't only mean that you have like I don't know just like a music something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
But it just means that you do the same thing in the same situation, if that makes sense, or in similar
Yeah.
situations.
Like have what's the word here? Like have a procedure, do you mean for things?
Maybe yes. I don't
Uh-huh.
think this really fits perfectly,
Uh-huh.
but
Maybe not. Yeah.
mm, I mean, one I don't know. He always said, or like what was basically one of the things that I could
Mm-hmm.
perfectly give you as an example from your coaching is
Mm-hmm.
if the enemy is on cooldown, you step forward instead of backwards, right?
Right, right,
Yes, and that is what you do always, right? If you are
right,
on, if you have your CDs up, right, and if your enemy has your CC's abilities down, right, then you step forward, right?
right, right.
Um, and this is something that is for me the most important part because you can replicate it every single game and you can get some consistency in it and
Right.
optimization, right? You don't have to think about it anymore, right? Like
Yeah.
when you have done it like 150 times, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah, um, I think this is very important. But yeah,
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah. I guess being like natural with things is very important.
yes, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Because otherwise your brain can't focus on other stuff, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we only have a set amount of attention. as well,
Yes,
right? So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what you also teach, right? So
yeah.
okay, well, I will
Yep.
jump into the video and I will tell you what I think is um, wrong,
Yep.
and you're gonna tell me your opinion about it, right?
Sure. Yeah, sounds good.
So before this, I skipped it to a minute because this is all an introduction.
Okay,
Just like
so
I don't know.
Is there a way to make
Any
this full screen?
instinct I can see.
yeah,
Maybe
sure.
you picked Ezreal. Like I don't know.
Seconds. You have to go onto the. Wait, I'm gonna Discord share it for you.
I actually I think it's fine. I just increased the thing. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop typing. My jungler will rage. We'll get.
Okay, yeah.
back
So
in
this
a
is
moment.
like
He
such a
doesn't
dumb
need a
point by
leash because
Skillcat
he
to
can
make
easily
not to
clear
leash
his
for your
jungle
jungler.
health.
I
Well,
agree with you
the
there,
Ezreals
and you
goes
say
to
this in
lane.
the video as well.
Now, if you leash and your opponent doesn't,
Against Thresh, meaning that it in multiple.
big deal, right?
Okay.
I mean, in platinum and below,
This-
Ezreal can just play safe and
This doesn't make any sense. So first of all, you've seen it in multiple videos. You've seen it in your own games if you play bot lane. You can get to the lane and not miss any XP. Sure, you'll miss out on the push, but Senna has a range lead against Thresh, meaning that even if you leash this lane here, even if it's a light leash, you can still get down here, and you will always get a level 2 advantage against Kai'Sa Thresh because of the nature of the matchup.
Okay, so this is where you contradict yourself. Like, this is the first point where you contradict yourself. You say they get the push, but you get the level 2 lead just because of the nature of the matchup.
No. I said Thresh and Ezreal and Senna can get the push.
Ah, okay.
I don't say that Kai'Sa and Thresh get the push at all. That wouldn't make sense.
Okay, yeah. But then,
I see. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, then the problem is, Senna actually doesn't have a range lead against Thresh. This is a bit of a misconception. Senna needs 0.5 seconds to auto-attack Thresh, in which Thresh can walk up about 200 range or 175 range because he's also slow, right? And then just E the Senna, because he's in range of the E for the Senna. Senna has 600 range, yeah, at level 1. And Thresh has 450 range on his E.
So Thresh has 450 range and Senna has 600 on her auto attack. Is that what you said?
Yes, exactly. But Thresh E is instant, and Senna auto take needs 0.5 seconds to actually charge. This is mathematical calculation of
Right.
Senna stuff.
I wouldn't Senna just be able to move back?
No, because
Like,
she can't
can't she
move
max
during
range
her
back?
auto attack. That's her passive. She
Right.
She needs 0.5 seconds to just charge her auto attack and shoot. I calculated this because of the video, by the way.
Jesus, yeah, I don't calculate. I never calculated that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why Thresh is actually able to step up to Senna and E her, which is bad. And I also tested this in a free game actually, and it's really hard for Senna to step up to Thresh and actually auto take him. So basically, what?
No, you're right. You're right. You're actually right here. I don't think that there's any other.
What Azure Senna actually should do to get the push?
Yeah.
What
It's
Azure
just
Senna
auto attack the wave.
like, first of all, they have to auto take the wave, but then still Kai'Sa and Thresh get level 2 advantage because of Thresh's support item, relic.
Yeah. They have the relic. Shield.
Exactly, but what they should do is actually play like Ezreal should stand off the Thresh and Senna should stand off Kai'Sa, so that Senna can auto take Kai'Sa when she wants to auto take the wave, and Ezreal can actually shoot Qs at Thresh, right, and then walk behind the wave. And then they could get an advantage if Kai'Sa and Thresh don't actually answer with point positioning on Senna.
Well, yeah. Well, we want to assume that both players or all four players are playing like they're like computers. Like they're always going to make the most optimal move, right? And obviously players are going to make mistakes, but we don't really factor that in when it comes to like game theory. So when it comes to these things, now this is very minute stuff because now I don't know if Senna could just auto attack the wave and just Q right through it and possibly get a slight push lead, or if Thresh's like support item is going to do more.
I
But
think
considering Kai'Sa's range advantage, perhaps it does favor Kai'Sa.
I actually think the worst thing is like that. I mean, they got the first hit on the wave, right? And now Ezreal and Senna are forced to actually hit the melee minions when the next wave is already coming in because they were so late on the wave. But you can't know that at that point, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that's the way why actually Kai'Sa and Thresh probably get the push lead, even though Thresh actually ends like wave 1 because he actually last hits the 3 melee minions with his relic shield. But yeah, I actually think Kai'Sa will get the push just because of her Q and Kai'Sa and Thresh Relic, right? Just because they get access to melee minions on second wave.
Yeah, they
Easier.
might get the push. They might get the push, right?
Yeah.
Did I state that they wouldn't get the push in
Yes.
this lane?
Yeah. Like Kai'Sa Thresh lose the push against Ezreal Senna. That's what you said basically.
Yeah, I didn't know what Thresh's cool like exact like numbers would be on his E.
Yeah.
Okay. I think yeah, I'd have to give that to you. That actually, I think that might be wrong on my end.
Yes.
Hmm.
So that's what I meant, right? By researching. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We can go on, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Right? So not leashing for Lee Sin doesn't really make any sense. Now, although Lee Sin could, now if you were to tell me Lee Sin doesn't wanna, he wants to disguise his opening, that's a different story. But in lower MMRs, it's just, you can just leash the Lee Sin and he'll be able to get onto the map in other areas, like top or mid, a little bit faster because he has that extra HP help that you guys gave him on the first camp. The main takeaway for this point is that it doesn't make sense because like Senna has a push lead against Thresh anyway, so you're always gonna get level 2 as real Senna versus Kai'Sa Thresh.
And farm while Kai'Sa just pushes
So
and
this is the
stays
same
in
point.
lane.
I won't actually.
We just
follow.
However,
addressed that.
here's
Yeah,
the
we just
plot
addressed
twist. Ezreal is facing off against our challenger Phil superstar Hector, and he's about to show you, Ezreal, that
By the way, can I just say challenger Phil superstar Hector? Like what the hell? By the way.
I haven't seen this guy on the ladder in ages.
Yeah, I don't even know what his in-game name is, but it's so funny that
I don't know.
it's so funny that they say Challenger Phil
Yeah.
Superstar Hector.
It's just my brain, man. I don't know.
But I think
And these are like silver tier games, and it's just like you can do platinum and probably win them.
I actually think they just did it for fun as well, right? Like
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
we don't have to overjudge this. I think they also did it for fun.
Yeah. This
leashing
is
for
just
this
for
Lee
fun.
Sin immediately
I'll
cost
be
him the laning
honest, I know that I said I keep my personal opinions at bay in this video, but I find
Yeah.
this guy's voice really obnoxious.
That one was
remember
what I also criticized in the video, obviously, because you said it like 2 minutes before that, right?
I know, but I couldn't help it, man. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I can understand. Just quote him, man. Just quote. Just say
I mean,
Challenger
the
Phil
The
Superstar
fact that you
Hector.
said that, I have to, you know.
I understand. Oh man. Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
See through these things,
Jeez.
but it's a little bit awkward. Also, Kai'Sa has a bit of XP advantage early
Phase.
on.
Also,
Oh, yeah,
you
that's also
don't
true.
even need
How?
to be a
So
gold
this is
player
really
to punish.
Oh, she has an assist here, doesn't she?
she had the 3 assists actually
Jesus.
from the
Like,
invade.
I don't know, man. Yeah, keep going.
By the way, I just want to mention that they are doing this video while this actually happened for an invade. When this is a scripted video, right? I
Yeah,
just want to
yeah.
make this point because you didn't make
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
They always use such videos, even though they can just make a scripted video where nothing happens at minute 1. They just have to go into
Yeah.
another queue.
And that's the issue that I have with a lot of like educational companies
Yeah.
is that they're using they're trying to use specific situations to then meet whatever like fucking like thing they're trying to like subscribe to people,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. But anyways, that's just a whole issue on itself.
I mean, I also think like I'm right now doing basically comeback to rank 1 series in Dead by Daylight because I'm also really good at Dead by Daylight, and I was rank 1. Like it is just basically like Challenger, but it is a bit of an easier game, right? And I will upload every single video, like every single game that I make, even though if I would lose 1 or 2, right? And I think this is the problem with Steelcat, right? They don't show that, for example, that Challenger superstar Phil Hector is actually losing games in silver or gold, right? Or
Yeah.
they also don't give the perfect game, right, where nothing happens and they are just 0-0 and he starts carrying off at 0 goals or
League of Legends is so black and white to these guys.
Yes, I think that's a big problem. Yeah, there's no gray, basically.
Yeah, there's just no gray.
Yeah, I agree with this. Super hard.
Just like Hector is about to. If you're familiar with our skill capped guides, you may be able to guess exactly how Hector is about to convert his leashless opener into certain victory. What do you think he's going to do?
By the way, this is so poorly played, actually, as well, right?
Yeah,
He should just
yeah.
hit down one of the ranged minions, and then he's getting
Yep.
a much cleaner 3-way
Yep.
dash. But
Yeah, and he doesn't do it.
yeah, Challenger superstar Phil Hector, by the way.
Happens.
Yeah. doesn't even know how to do a proper three-wave reset. But
Yeah.
what I think again, like, yeah. Actually, I don't. I forgot my point. Whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Auto the backline minions. Don't do anything. Play standard. Play slow.
The answer, he's going to cheater recall. A cheater recall is where you slow push the first two waves and then hard push the third wave into the enemy tower and recall.
You can't cheat a recall here. The reason you can't cheat a recall is because Senna has a
This
push
is,
lead against
again,
Thresh,
the same
so once
point
they
as
show
you-
up, all
as
they
you-
have to
Right,
do
right.
is
So,
auto
so
them away,
my, so
and
my
you
argument
can't
here,
cheat a-
if you can pause it here,
Yeah.
my
sorry.
argument here is even if Senna doesn't have the push lead, they still can't cheat a recall here.
Like, even if wait, what? Again? Can you repeat?
Even if Senna doesn't have the push lead, they still can't cheat a recall
Why do you think so?
because that's under the assumption that Senna isn't going to consistently auto the wave along with Ezreal.
But at wave 2 they can't, because Thresh is just gonna walk up and zone them from minions, right? He's
Yeah,
just
but
gonna
then
take the damage.
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. But then they have to crash all of wave 3 as well, and that's when level 2 can be matched. And then on wave 3, Senna and Ezreal have like a wake up where they can then respawn on like consistently onto the wave.
I
And
mean,
if they don't like use any resources onto the enemy champions, then the shooter would be really difficult to pull off.
if you okay, but I think if you play if you don't play like this challenger superstar Phil Hector, right?
Yeah.
Then Ezreal and Senna don't even get level 2 before, like, Thresh will just zone them off XP, you know?
At what, level 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Level 2 he'll push in and then they can't really do anything.
But then he gets third wave in as well, no? Because it's bot lane, right?
They can still stop it, I think. They can still respond.
You think?
Yeah, I think they can still respond because Ezreal and Senna can just hard spam the wave.
I think it's very. I mean, maybe.
Well, like we have to first ask ourselves like the characteristics of a cheater, right? Usually the opponent isn't able to do anything onto the third wave, but on wave 3 they can still respond.
I think the easiest way that Ezreal and Senna can punish a cheater here is if they hard hit on wave 3 and then hard crash wave 4, while Kai'Sa would have reset it.
Yeah, they'd have to hard crash wave 4. But we have to then ask ourselves how much damage they're doing to the actual wave on 3. So it's kind of see, this is the type of stuff which is like it's really hard to try to comprehend because
It's
we
super hard.
can't
I think.
actually even see it.
Yeah, I actually think you have to play this matchup to actually I actually don't think that they can match Cheater just because of the fact that Thresh is so tanky level 2 and he will just tank a lot of damage, right? This is also on the patch where Thresh actually had more health on level 1, right? So I actually think he will just tank like to 300, 400 HP and then they can get such a huge wave that they can actually push it.
I mean, okay, perhaps. This is stuff that I'd have to like actually see.
Senna base AD is just too low. Like she has 50 base AD or something, 51 or something. It's too low.
I actually don't know. I actually don't know. I don't think that they can the cheater off. To be honest, I think that they can respond. So let's play the video. Let's see how many how often Senna could actually auto the wave if we were to like.
I mean, Hector already messed up, right? We take into account that Hector doesn't mess up, right? If he wouldn't have messed up wave 1 and wave 3 he messes up completely, right? Then I don't think Ezreal Senna can respond. But in this video he messes up wave 3, right? And wave 1, as we already seen, right?
Well, what I want to do here is if we play the video, I can try to like track how much damage would be on the wave as the video is being played out, and then perhaps we can come to like a definite conclusion.
I mean, Thresh also doesn't
if this
zone
could
them
have been.
off.
Thresh can what?
Thresh doesn't zone them off in the video. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah. I feel like I need a visual, to be honest. I really feel like I might need a visual here.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, I just don't think that Senna needs to auto. Like, obviously, if Senna autos here, it's going to be a bit harder. But the fact that she doesn't auto, they can pull the cheater off. But we have to play it. I think we have to play it.
Okay.
I have to see the video.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Was recently publicized.
They also skip wave 2, I
recent
think,
video
which
that
is the
was brought
problem.
to the LS.
But
No
yeah.
way they skip
I
wave
made a
2.
point
I
with
think they
the
do so.
pro player, and I told him that you should cheat her as Orianna versus
Or
Vel'Koz,
parts
but that
of
was
wave
actually
2.
incorrect.
Oh
Vel'Koz can
no.
deny cheater with double points in W. That's one example in mid lane of a cheater being denied.
By the way, what I think is funny about LS and Nemesis making a point there onto you is that that
The
Froggen,
Vel'Koz?
I don't think Froggen would know that he steals W twice at level 3. But
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Froggen was losing. I went over that video earlier, and I think Froggen actually lost that lane. Like, I was able to wake up after that video a little bit, and I realized, okay, well, there's actually a lot of issues here.
yeah, I mean,
But
I
yeah,
actually think your videos have been gotten as well better ever since, by the way. So
oh,
yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah, I was just looking and I was like, oh, well, okay, I see what the flaws are, and maybe we can try to work on those.
yeah,
But yeah,
understandable.
Likewise, in bot lane, the fact that Senna will be able to deny the cheater against the
By the way,
Gretchen
your video
Tail,
is
or
really
the Kai'Sa
silent.
here, it doesn't make
oh
sense
yeah,
as
I
to
don't know
why you're
why.
telling the player to just cheater recall
It
here.
was
The only
actually I
time you can
rewatched
cheater
my
recall
YouTube
here
video.
is if
It
those
was like so
the,
silent.
Ezreal and Senna
Yeah.
don't auto the wave, but that isn't correct play. So, like, then incentivizing such kinds of points doesn't really make sense. This is actually leading players to then believe that this is possible, like a cheater can be done here.
So,
So
with a slight min-
if
By,
you
by
if
the
you
way,
pause the video, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, sorry. If this is in like bronze to like platinum, I actually think they
Mhm.
would still get the cheater through. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So for the
Yeah.
people that still get ones to hits, they will get the cheater through. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but
Which is
my
really
issue is that
sad, but yeah.
they're not really explaining the thought process.
Yeah.
So now, if they go into the video and they talk about, okay, well, Thresh should actually, this is why the cheater is possible.
Yeah.
See, when a cheater is possible, there's certain variables to it actually being done, and those variables haven't been addressed. The only thing that's been addressed is I'm gonna cheater, but like people are gonna sit there like, okay, well, that's what a cheater is, but they don't realize that they can't always do that all the time.
They also don't explain how to do the cheater, which is
No, they don't actually explain it. They don't
I mean, they
actually
do-
explain how to do it. Yeah.
they do say they slow push 1 and 2 and then you hard trash 3, but how do you actually slow push 1 and 2? What does the support do during that time? How
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
get to level 2 power spike without pushing the wave too
And,
hard?
and people can argue, like, they could say, oh, well, that doesn't really matter and that doesn't really meet the point of the actual video, but it does, because
Yes.
how can you cheater if you don't know these things,
Yes, like how do you cheater when you actually push wave 2 too hard because you want level 2 advantage? Like
They don't talk about that. They actually just don't discuss it.
yeah, they literally
Yeah.
never discuss it in the entire
Yeah.
video, even though the entire video is actually about the cheaterista, right? Which is
Yeah.
which is a fucking joke, by the way. But yeah,
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
minion lead on the first wave, which he
So, like, here,
maintains
if
on the
Senna can
second
just,
wave, and
Jesus,
pushing
they just skip it. Like,
Yeah.
like right here. If Senna just stops trolling and she continues to auto the wave with Ezreal, they
Okay.
can't recall.
I
And
I will show
you
you,
know-
how I think the wave would be played. Okay,
okay.
so I actually need epic pen. No, epic pen fucks up my OBS. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna use your video. Fuck you.
Sure.
Yeah, epic pen. Hello. Okay, so what I think is, if they actually hold the wave in a spot where they actually can use Thresh in the bush,
Yeah.
then he can just zone off the Senna, right, and the Ezreal, and take the Ezreal Q damage, right? If Ezreal is very good, then he will hit the Qs and will not get hit by a Thresh hook. And he shouldn't even aim the hook at Ezreal, right? Because then he's gonna lose the wave, right? But he should just keep hook and stay in there while Kai'Sa's manipulating the wave, standing like also a bit in front of the wave, but the wave should be here, right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the
Wait,
wave should be much further behind so they can actually zone out those two champions, right? Because otherwise they have no way of cheater resetting. Because then they can't deny them hitting the wave, and then what they should actually do is perma hit the wave so they can thin out wave 3, and then it's gonna be very awkward.
So they're gonna just perma hit the wave, give up their HP at mana pool, crash the wave in, and then reset.
Yes. Because the wave is too huge, right? To actually get lethal off later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Senna and Ezreal can. I mean, they can keep pushing, but I just don't think they can. I don't know if they can push hard enough to thin out the surplus of reds they have on the third wave.
Yes.
That's maybe they do, maybe they don't. These are like some of the things that are like really,
In this video, it's 100% possible, by the way. I'm not doubting this. Like they can
Well,
100% take them out.
yeah. They can cheat her here. They can cheat her here.
No, they can't. Like those two can't cheat her here. 100% not. Like they really can't. If Senna and Ezreal keep hitting here, they are in a safe position, right? There's no way
No.
that
If they play wave 2 correctly.
yeah,
is what I'm saying.
that's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
So if you're talking about like wave 3, no, because Senna and Ezreal can shove wave.
Yes.
But I don't think they
don't do
they
it.
skip wave 2. They skip wave 2. I have no idea.
Yeah, it depends how wave 2 is, right? If wave 2 already leads them into this, even if they play wave 1 perfectly, then it's not possible. But if wave 2 is in a spot where they can actually hit wave 3 in a way that Thresh can zone them off a little bit, they can get the cheater off.
Wait, you can't you could relic? I mean, even then it's kind of ugly.
Like you spare relic shield stacks for wave 3, maybe if that works, right? If the wave 1 works. I think this is such a fucking like limit test matchup. You have to play this
it's
one.
It's such a mess.
But
it's very messy.
I 100% think that if Kai'Sa Thresh play this pixel perfect, and actually Senna and Ezreal play this pixel perfect, then Kai'Sa and Thresh are gonna be at 300 HP, but they are resetting with a huge wave.
Oh, which is fine. Yeah, they can cheat it.
They have cheater, right? So it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, none of this stuff was really addressed in the video.
Never.
Right?
It has never been said that Thresh has to actually play around bushes against this matchup, that he has to reset and get red
never
trinket.
even discussed it.
That's like all of those things, that he needs red trinket to actually make it possible to be in the bush, right?
Yeah. He should be south. He shouldn't even be north here. He should be down there.
Yeah, 100%, by the way, because now he just gets hit by Senna and he can't respond. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he can maybe respond with E, but it's hard.
Yeah, the stuff isn't addressed. Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is really like it's really bad that Steelcap doesn't address this kind of stuff, but this kind of stuff also didn't get addressed by you, right? Which I think is...
No, I didn't necessarily address this stuff. I guess we're now talking more of like a deeper level, because now we're discussing like Thresh's like range and Senna's range and all that stuff. Which is something that you can talk about. Yeah, I think that is actually more important now, because we're addressing it deeper and deeper. I do agree with you, where I think they could cheat her here. But my issue with the video is that they would then label this as like global.
Always.
Like they would make this like always, that's the problem.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know. I also totally agree in my video about your point that you make there. But again, in my opinion, the argumentation behind that, like behind what you say in the end, was my problem in that video, if that makes sense, right? Because your argument in the first 5 minutes was basically always that Senna has a range advantage against Thresh, and not that they actually don't address that he has to play around bushes. Like, you only have to say, okay, Thresh should play around bushes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's certain things where I just don't even talk about, because it just doesn't, like, I feel as though it's like obvious.
Yeah, I mean, it should be obvious, right? But nobody does it actually,
but no
until
one does
Diamond 1 maybe.
Yeah.
In my elo, nobody does it, and I'm Diamond 2 in the US. So, and like, sadly, I am Diamond 2 because I didn't play that much, and I played every role, and I just for fun did. But
I mean, solo queue is like, I don't like going above master tier. I have a job. I have to coach. I have YouTube. All this stuff. Like, I can't play. I didn't even play a game today.
I just didn't have
the time. I just did not have the time.
Yeah, I understand you actually.
And so playing above master tier, it's like you have to bank so many games in that it's a problem. And like, I would get to master, and then I would have issues retaining it, not just because of the skill, but also like because of just the constant playing.
The thing is also, you have to play with brain, by the way, and I think that's what I didn't do. Like, I was maybe I was in the season, I started off like 70% win rate in Diamond 1, and then I started having coaching, I started having my real life job that I quit now for coaching. Then I had several things. I also had to help out for a team sometimes, and like, then I just I was basically completely finished off, and then I played the game in the end of the day, right? And it can't go well, right?
Oh, I did that for like a year.
Yeah, it's so bad, by the way. You will lose everything that you once were able to do.
It was impossible. It was too hard.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I think you can still like I think to address something like this is it's so easy, right? If you okay, I'm gonna tell you two things, and if you do this as a support, everybody that is watching, okay, you are gonna get to diamond easily, okay? So the two things that you do is you press tab to actually check where the enemy support places wards, and the second thing you do is play properly around bushes, and you will get mastered here easily, or actually diamond. Let's say diamond, okay?
I think you minimum get diamond.
Yeah, which is extremely sad, by the way.
It is. It actually is.
But nothing of this is addressed, by the way. Nothing.
No. Yeah. I don't. Well, I mean,
I mean-
in all fairness, I didn't really feel as though I had to talk about what Thresh needed to do, because
Yeah.
my goal in the video was to talk about how the video is addressing to someone learning the game for the first time.
Makes sense, yeah.
You know, so I would go into these things, but I wouldn't necessarily like, I wouldn't break down every little thing. I mean, the Thresh is like silver. You know, I wouldn't really, you know, like
Yeah.
I've addressed these things in my actual videos where
Makes
I would
sense,
do
yeah.
VODs. Not in this one, yeah.
Yeah. Give me, by the way, 1 second. I have to charge my mobile phone.
Yeah, no problem. Almost skill cap, guys. Skill cap is very like, it's very weird.
Okay,
Yeah,
I am
really
back.
weird. Yeah. Play around bush is my regular shine too.
Oh man.
All right.
Rengar support incoming or what?
Oh yeah. Running solo queue one bush at a time.
Okay,
What?
let's keep going.
as fast as possible.
You notice
Minion
how the
lead
Senna
on
doesn't auto attack? You see how like the wave starts, the lane phase starts, and Senna's clicking back here. The reason this guy is able to get a cheater off is first of all they're really slow.
It's
They're
by the way also so
significantly slow to
badly
the lane
played
because
by
they're leashing.
Hector and the Thresh.
Although you can get away with
Yeah.
leashing a little bit lighter and still
But
getting
Senna
the
here
wave.
can recall,
And then
not
second
recall,
of
but
all,
shove
they're
the wave a
literally
little
not
bit.
autoing the
Yeah.
wave. So their goal right now in this lane is to kill these three melees as fast as possible.
Like
They don't
Thresh
do
just
that.
has to walk
So
up. What is he
Skillcap
doing?
fails to address that.
Yep.
They are now incentivizing that a cheater is possible here, and this all again is just leading the players towards like misconceptions about the game.
the first wave, which he maintains on the second wave, then pushing as fast as possible once the third wave arrives, which is a cannon wave.
So this is what I think they do well for bronze players, or like silver, gold maybe as well, because they say vaguely what they have to do to get a cheater
Yeah,
done.
this is fine. This is good because they were talking about
Yes.
the right ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you
So,
can
early into the
shove.
game, it takes your opponent forever to clear and push the cannon wave.
I mean,
so you
if Thresh
return
just,
the lane
like,
with double the
I
items
don't
of your
know.
opponent
Thresh
without
is really
losing
weird.
minions.
Yeah, let's not
Others
talk
Not
about
if
this.
they have Dematerializer. You could,
Like,
you
how,
could have
they can't really.
not materializer, sorry, but
Here they can't cheater, by the way.
Yes,
Here they
they
never.
They can't.
No,
they
they
can't
can't.
cheat exactly.
Seems unfair, right?
not materializer.
That's
I meant-
why.
But this, like, the place that he resets is actually like. Okay, so the reset is incorrect, but the place that he resets in is fine, if that makes sense, right? So the initial play is bad, but the place that he resets in, like Ezreal can't. Okay, you're gonna make the point that Ezreal is gonna stop him, or
Yeah.
should stop him. But the
Yeah.
problem is here again that Ezreal has to be like here to actually see him, right? Because of
Well,
the wall.
if you play the video back, I think can Senna and Ezreal pull the wave there?
Oh, I don't know. Wait. You can actually also influence the video, by the way. Just say.
But
Oh yeah. Holy shit.
Stuck in
You're
lane.
right.
Seems unfair,
Yeah,
right?
they should pull the
Not
wave.
material.
What are
That's
they
why
doing?
Yeah, if they pull the wave here, then the cheater is doomed.
Yeah, 100%. They should pull the wave and then they should hit the wave actually because they have HP
They-
advantage.
They pull the wave and then they could probably walk up to the challenger superstar here and then threaten something. Because I mean
Superstar.
Thresh is gonna have to stop this guy.
It's
item,
called
right?
a cheat.
To be honest,
Then
they
Hector
shouldn't even
recall.
walk up because, like, if Hector loses the entire wave, the wave is like the game is doomed. Like he never comes back on this. He's making Kaiser.
Yeah. So here when I'm looking at this, the purpose of a cheater is to get an economic like like a positive economic value on your end,
Yes.
but that's already achieved by the freeze.
Yes.
So the cheater is just out the window. I
Yes.
think.
Because
Yeah.
because the freeze denies the economical lead. They
Exactly. The freeze denies the economical lead.
it
Exactly.
actually destroys everything that he worked
You
for.
can't. If you recall here, you're actually losing the lane.
Yeah, I agree.
Jesus.
It's but the thing is, why? Again, this is the same thing, right? Why are they actually using this video as an example? Like they could use, I don't know, they could play Ezreal and pull off a better cheater. They could play, I don't know, they could play the worst cheatering champion. Let's say they play. Uh, let's say they play Senna ADC, okay, and they pull off a cheater. That they could do it better than in this video, right?
No. Yeah. Agreed.
But they still show this video with one of the easiest champions to do a cheater with, right? Because Kai'Sa is actually very easy to just keep the wave, right? Wave 3.
Yeah. I agree.
And they still int.
Yeah, they still do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheater is terrible, by the way. Ezreal can actually walk here and stop his cheater with Q. Also,
Again, I don't think this is the point, right? The point is really that they can just leash the wave, right?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, they can't cheater here, and they're saying that they can. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. I also think it has to be addressed that you want them to like leash the wave, right?
Yeah.
So this
If you
is
want more
weird because as she lists a lot of HP.
info for how to
Someone stay in
execute
this
a
lane.
cheater recall, check out this video guide. Linked
The wave
is
should
in
be
the
still
description.
over.
Returning the lane
the
with a
lane,
call
sorry.
in addition to his Dorn's Blade, Ezreal has a slow push built to greet Hector. Once he's cleared his wave, he hits tap. Look at the CS difference. Hector is up by 3 less tips despite recalling,
This is,
shopping,
This is such
and
a
then
joke,
walking
by the
back to the lane.
That's a joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's up by
Sense.
3 less.
First of all,
That like you should be 2 minions down, right? Because of cheater. Like that's the only thing that you should be because it's cheater, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
you
mean,
lose
I
max
don't know.
2 minions, right? But like
I don't know.
you should be down minions, and they just say he's even up in CS.
And
It's
I
just
think
the
the wave is
flex.
actually pushing. The wave is pushing into Ezreal here.
Yeah, it is.
She's actually losing the lane.
Yeah, well,
Right now.
losing the lane, not really, but like she's
Well,
not ahead in CS, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
she's
right?
not. She's not ahead of CS, but the wave state is in like a losing position right now. It's not like based on I don't know where Lee Sin is, by the way, but based on the lane positioning, this is not a favorable lane position for where they actually want to be.
Depends on how long they can hold the slow push, right? And when Graves can actually be bot side, because like Gromp is up, right?
Yeah.
So if Graves resets and goes bot side, it's fine, right? And also they can probably 2v3 in this, like they can stack wave that is so big that they can 2v3 because it's cannon and the wave afterwards. So maybe it's fine, but it's not great. Like,
Right.
but the thing is, like, I actually think this is a very unfair point to make because you can't influence your fucking jungler in solo queue. It's just impossible.
Yeah, but the problem is we should at least be able to understand what routes the enemy jungler can take.
Yeah, that's correct. Like
And-
the enemy
and
jungler, you have
base
to
it on
understand
that.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say we want to influence the jungler, but I do think that the wave states do influence the routes of what the jungler could do.
Yes, that's where I agree.
Right? Yeah.
I don't
It
even
seems like my
understand.
stream is actually lagging a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on here, but I might actually have to restart my internet here. Yeah. So holy shit! 1 second, restarting.
Yeah, I can give you like 5 minutes or so. Is it maybe because
sec.
I'm Discord streaming and I am in
No.
Europe?
I
Okay,
think
okay.
it's actually my ISP. Something is definitely wrong. So I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right. Perfect. Just give me 5 minutes. Let's get
Yeah,
through
no
this.
worries.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, guys, hold up.
Okay, guys. Actually, the stream is lagging like shit, by the way. Holy moly. Yeah, I'm sad. Forgot to pay bill. 5 minutes restarting. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Well, guys, how are you doing today? We're actually gonna play some Dead by Daylight after this, so stay tuned. Obviously, we are gonna record everything for YouTube as well again, but yeah. Ah, he's back, maybe. Oh, he's lagging like shit. Currently offline. Happens. Oh, I'm lagging. My mouse is actually lagging as well now. What the hell? We are waiting for him, guys. We are waiting for him. Actually, I'm gonna make a cut here and make a second YouTube video so that it's not too long.